Spooky story time with Chelley and Dustin. Come join us. Welcome to our spooky stories chat. I'll just add the amazing Dustin in and we're going to tell some spooky stories. If I'm too dark and you can't see me, let me know. I took being in a dark room a little bit too the extreme and I'm a bit scared of what's behind me. So let me add the amazing Dustin in. Let me know if you can't see me. Hopefully Dustin's joining. But thanks to everyone who sent in a story. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Hey, we sound
You say
like
about
the...
spooky background.
I know, it's so
Ooh.
cool. I just look like a head floating, like in the darkness.
What's
Woo!
up? Yeah. And the black lipstick and yeah. I gotta pull my thing up a little bit.
Oh dear. Oh, Kirsty, don't say that. She said it's not meant to be anything behind you then. Oh.
Yeah, okay. We're good. We're good.
We're good.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for
Oh,
this. I love
no!
I love telling spooky
Oh,
stories.
same. I need to not put my hands up here because I keep covering my face. But
No.
yes, I know. But yeah, we kind of had the random idea whilst we were talking Nightmare Hall the other week, and
Right.
then the wonderful Kirsty came up with the idea of getting people to send us some spooky
Yeah.
stories to read out,
That's
as
thank you,
well as our
Kirsty.
own. Thank you, Kirsty. And we thought, oh, that's a good idea. We'll see if anyone wants to send us some stories. Eddie Ray said she's excited. Yeah,
Oh.
so we're
Um,
gonna.
I,
Oh,
I wanted to ask you first before we started. Did you ever like growing up? I know, like, I have a friend who never did this, never went on a camping trip or did anything like this where they told spooky stories around a campfire or just a sleepover, just holding the flashlight up or torchlight up to your face.
mm,
And did
mm.
you do that growing up?
Um, Not so much with friends, but my brother, who I talk about a lot on my live chats, my older brother used to terrify us with ghost stories and hide under our beds and stuff. So I feel like I did have the full experience growing up.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, still, like we did that sometimes around a campfire. I didn't go camping a lot, but I was in the Boy Scouts for like a few months and we did that. But then like you grow up with stuff like so I have here like Are You Afraid of the Dark? So
Wow.
this is just a I posted about this a while back, but this is just like a an insight to every episode of the show, which lasts like series or seasons actually. And you know it's a Canadian show, so it's kind of adjacent to the UK.
Wow.
Um,
It's
it's,
so
yeah,
cool.
and so you have this where they, you know, told campfire stories every week, new original stories. And I just wanted to share some things first
Yeah.
before we got started,
Yeah,
while we get
go
more
for it.
people
I love
joining.
it.
Hey,
I'm like,
everybody.
oh, hey,
So
everybody.
I actually stole this from a friend's house when I was a kid.
Ooh.
It's 100 ghastly little ghost stories. And some of them are old, some of them are newer at the time. This is like 30 years old. But
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah,
Have you read any of those?
I have. There was one called Daddy, and it's not like what you think it's going to be. The most
Daddy?
Daddy. No, it's like this little girl. She's trapped in a house, and the ghost of her father died and won't ever let her leave. And so she's like, it's creepy. Um,
Oh, just
yeah.
sound creepy.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of bedtime stories. It's
No.
a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
And they take a lot of folklore and urban legend, and they put like almost kind of similar to the scary stories you tell in the dark books, like really like charcoal looking paintings and stuff that kind of look like this, kind of creepy,
Oh.
and they have a really it's from the UK actually.
Oh, wow. I'd
So
have
you
to have a
should
look
definitely
for
check that
that.
out. Bedtime stories.
Yeah.
It's got a little skull in the O. But
Ooh.
so this is my piece de resistance, or I don't know if you would call it that or not. Uh, is my scary stories to tell in the dark collection.
Oh.
So I'm gonna take this off my face. This is blinding me. Okay, so first up, we have. Well, I'll do this. So remember that one I told you not to
Oh,
get? I
yes.
have that. I just got
You
it from
said,
the
don't get
novelty.
that, Shelley. Don't get
Yeah,
that.
I have it because I had the others, and this is just kind of the novelty. This is what you don't do when you republish a book. So the illustrations in
Mm.
this are not that, they're good, but they're not creepy enough. They just kind of look
Oh,
little, you know
creepy
what I mean?
cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not creepy enough. Not like the original books, which I have.
Oh wow, you
All
got the
all three of the
originals.
original books in the
Oh, I'm
way they
so
came out. So
jealous.
I have
Oh wow.
these. And then I also got, when the movie came out, I kept this in plastic, but all three of the books in the movie
Oh
cover version.
wow. Yeah,
And
because
then,
I've got the movie cover. I don't know if they can see it because of my light. Oh, here we go.
okay,
The
yeah,
movie cover. Yes, that's got the three books in one. So I got that one. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And then the
excited.
movie also had a version of their own book. It's like a diary of the character in the book. So it's Scary Stories Still in the Dark. And there's like the
Oh
stories, but the way they're told in the movie. So it's a little different than the originals.
yeah.
But still, it's neat. And then, of course, I've got all three in one, the
Oh
Scary
wow.
Stories treasury.
Wow, you've got like such a collection. I
I
love
know.
that.
I know. It's a little sad.
No, it's not sad. It's amazing. I love that. That's
I have a
brilliant.
problem.
They're
But
trophies, Dustin. Trophies.
the trophies, right, right. And I have read them all. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Thanks for showing us those. I'm definitely going to look out for that one that you said was the UK one. I'm going to have a look for that after the chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For bedtime stories, that's they have them in the book form. They have several volumes, but I think you should watch the YouTube show first.
Oh,
They're like 10 to
okay.
15 minutes an episode, and they're really creepy. And there's some really good. I'll send some over
Yeah.
to you that I think are really good. So,
Send me some. Send me some. I just said. So I just said. I just saw Kirsty said we did at Brownie Camp. So at Brownie Camp used to tell
ah,
like ghostly tales. Yeah, love that. Atia said, "Love. Are you afraid of the dark?" And Jessie said, "Highly recommend if you've never seen the show." I think I might. I don't think I've seen it all. You know.
yeah, they had seven. So it started in the early 90s, and they ran for 7 seasons. And now, like they recently brought it back in three miniseries that are a
Oh,
lot darker. It's a lot more mature than it was. So the original was kind of like a little bit darker than Goosebumps. There's
yeah.
some comedy in there and whatnot, but it was a little bit darker. It was a little more like Twilight Zone for kids, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
Really, some of them are really creepy and some of them are kooky, but they're not the Addams Family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a really good show. You should try to find if you can. It's
Yeah,
really good.
definitely. I'm going to check that out. Sharon said she used to terrify her younger sisters with ghost stories. I think, yeah, I think the older sibling tends to terrify the younger ones. I
Well,
think.
or torment them in some
Yeah.
way. I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, amazing channel on YouTube, Atia said.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
Karen said, I'm loving these campfire vibes. Woo.
It's just a light, guys. It's literally just a light.
Mine is actually a scented candle, so it's very strong, but it's the only candle I can
And
find.
it's burning my nostrils.
I know. Yes, I'll probably be sneezing in a minute. But it actually says new, and it's not really very spooky. I don't know whether to move it. So it actually says new home on it. So it's not.
Ooh, new
It's the only one that
home.
I could find, like, to hand around the house. So I thought, oh, I'll go for it.
That's fun.
Love your lighting and vibe.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Shelley, your lips look like you have dried blood on your lips. It is. It's the blood of my victim. I know it's lipstick in the dark. Yeah, it's black lipstick. Probably normally ends up all over my teeth, to be honest. But so creepy because did you feed on someone?
Don't tell our secrets.
Eddie's video said scary stories I read when I was in elementary. I
Yes.
love the illustrations as well.
They were
Oh,
targeted
amazing.
towards grade school kids, but they are a lot darker than grade school kids should be reading.
Oh, I don't think I've ever. It looks familiar to me, but I just don't think I've ever read it.
Oh, we'll read
So
one. I'll try to find one. We'll try to read one here if we have time.
Melina says, "What a collection." Karen
Yes.
said, "It's not sad. It's super cool." And Eddie May said, "I love your spooky story collection, Dustin."
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Narissa said most of it is on YouTube, Shelley, not the new ones though. Oh. Karen said, "Don't ruin the magic. It's a campfire." Yeah, it's a campfire. Larissa said, my older sister convinced me that a ghost girl lived in our attic that was mid-conversion.
Ooh,
Ooh,
mean,
spooky.
mean.
And Eddie's video said, Dustin, your background looks like a 17th century oil painting of hell.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does.
Oh, that's interesting.
Spooky.
It's just that knitting stuff. I can't really. I don't know what to call it, but it's what do they call
So
that? I don't know.
cool. So
Yeah.
cool. So tonight then we're going to play a little game, as we said in our
Ooh.
little reel that we did. So are the stories that we're going to tell fact or fiction? And we may be asking you to come up with some names for the stories as well. So if there's a story that's been submitted that had a name, we won't reveal that to the end, and see if you can think of one and pop it in the comments. We thought it
Right.
might be a bit of fun. So do you want to go first, Dustin? You tell us a spooky story, one of your spooky stories.
Okay. So one of them, it's off the top of my head. So, when this didn't happen to me, it happened to a friend. And it was just a little bit of a blurb of something that happened to him before he moved close to me. Before I'd met him, actually. It was like just before I met him. And he was probably, not just before, but he was probably around 5 or 6 years old when this happened. And he lived in Memphis. It was just a little suburb community in Memphis, that had been annexed by the city. And one day his family had noticed that there was a car parked in front of the house next door. They never really parked there, and they knew that wasn't a car that was associated with the people next door. And then it stayed there, and it never moved. It didn't move for like weeks. And then one day they hear police sirens, and finally they saw that somebody had looked in the car and saw a body inside, had been stuck up there. And he went outside with his parents. He was little, he didn't know what was going on, and they opened the door, and he said the smell hit him like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And how could and the fact that they were playing in the yard and stuff right next to where this body was this entire time.
Wow. So
That's a little short one, but yeah.
Oh, that's actually giving me like a chill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Creepy.
that's spooky.
Hey, Brooker.
Oh. Hey, Brooker. Oh, that's well creepy. I don't know how I'd react in that moment if I was the one to find that body.
Well, if you want to add on to that, something similar kind of happened to me. When I was homesick from work one day, it was probably my late 20s, and I was living in an apartment with a friend, and there were, like, I don't know if you have these in your parking lots, speed bumps so people don't drive too fast, so they make you slow down. So they had that in our parking lot in our apartment complex. And I would hear it, and this was trash day, so a big truck would come through to get the dumpster. And so it would go over the speed bump, and I would hear bang, 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 because it was right next to my apartment. We lived on the end.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting at home, and I hear bang, 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 and I went, oh. And then I heard it again because there were several speed bumps. And within like 15 minutes of that, my roommate comes home because we lived near the university, and he came home from class, and he said, have you been out here? And I said, no, I was sick. And he said, there's a body out here. And I said, what? And I jumped up, and it wasn't outside my apartment.
Yeah.
My apartment complex was on one street, and then we had a chain linked fence, and then another complex that was on another street, or kind of back to back to each other, but separated by the chain link fence. And the landlord of that apartment complex apparently had a dispute with one of the people and got out of his truck. And the second he got out of his truck, the guy walked up and shot him in the face. And I saw it. I saw the brains. I saw everything.
Oh my
and
God.
it was funny because it didn't bother me as much as I thought it should. It bothers me more when I see it in movies, but when I see it in real life, I'm like, well, that's what that looks like. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. So just to clarify, Dustin, that both of those stories are true?
Yes, they are both true.
Wow.
As far as I know, at least the first one, but I know mine is.
Oh gosh, that's freaky. Oh, I don't know how I'd be. That would just freak me out so much. Oh dear.
Ooh, Sharon.
I found a skull in the basement of a pub. I rankled the Queen's head. Sharon.
Was it in a rug, Sharon?
Was it in a rug? Oh
Oh my
dear.
goodness.
Wow. Creepy, creepy. And
Yeah.
I just saw that Kirsty said, I totally refused to go on a school residential trip because people said the house was haunted by a young boy. I'm a bit of a wimp in real life. Aren't we
Oh,
all? I'm a bit
there's
of a
safety
wimp
in
as
numbers
well.
usually.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
I was just going to say my spooky
Yes.
story was, so when me and my brother were younger, so basically my well, I called him my granddad, but essentially my step granddad. He had like a really old house, and it was massive. It was like over 3 floors, and he never had the heating on. It was always cold in there. So as soon as you walked in, you already felt like that it was haunted.
Ooh.
And me and my brother, it was probably my brother's encouragement, was obsessed with playing up in the attic. Because in one of the rooms in the attic, they used to have a Sky Electric set up. So we was obsessed with playing up there. So weird things used to happen in this attic. So one day we was playing on the Sky Electrics and we got locked in the door. We thought someone was holding the door handle from the other side
Right.
because it was like we just couldn't. It was like a round turn handle, and we just couldn't budge it at all. And then all of a sudden, it just randomly opened, and obviously we went screaming downstairs. There was other things that happened, like we'd be upstairs and like the electricity would just like randomly turn off, which you could put down to like, you know, just them messing around, the adults messing around
Mm-hmm.
downstairs. And then the one time we was like, because as you walked up to this attic, you kind of had to turn a corner to go up 3 extra stairs.
Okay.
And we were coming up those extra stairs and we stopped dead because we saw this figure go from where this Sky Electrics room is to the other room opposite, literally just go from one room to the other.
Ooh.
And we just literally froze, looked at each other, bombed it downstairs, told all the adults who were all in the front room, and we were like really upset about this, what we'd seen. But we described the lady. She had this bun on the top of her head, brown hair, long flowy dress. And then my step granddad said, that's my ex-wife who died in that room opposite. And not we'd never seen a picture of her or anything, and we described exactly what she looked like. So to this day, I'm convinced that we did see a ghost.
Oh my goodness. That is creepy. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I hate that.
It wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, it was just the way. I mean, and me and my brother talk about this all the time now because the way we described her, like my step granddad went and got a picture and showed us, and it was exactly how we described her with this bun on top of her head and everything. And we'd never seen that before. So,
Yeah,
spooky attics.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like, they ain't lying. They're not lying at all. Oh my
No.
goodness.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
similar kind of stuff happen to me, but I don't want to tell the older ones that I've already told before because in case anybody watching wants to hear other spooky stories by me, I had some ghost stuff go on in my life, and I didn't want to retell those because I've already done them on a podcast, and they do a much better job of producing it than I would do here.
Oh, wow. We'll have to share that.
So
We'll share that.
yeah, we will.
Send me the link and I'll definitely share it.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just read some comments. Jessie said, yikes, we had a dead body in the street last year. I was on the news. You was on the news, Jessie.
Oh my goodness.
Shaman said the wall collapsed and the body had been walled behind it. I think that's worse.
The one in the pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then she later
creepy.
on, she said it was an old coaching inn and the body was 16th century. The legend was the innkeeper's daughter refused to marry and disappeared. Ooh. Disappeared behind a wall.
Yeah. And Eddie May said the fact that it happened in an attic just makes it extra creepy. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
There's something about it, especially the kind that any attic really, it's creepy, but the ones that you can walk up regular steps to, like it's own room, its own space.
Yeah.
It's like you gave them space to exist, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And Kirsty just said my lodger just made me jump by asking me if I wanted anything from the chip shop. Woo, Kirsty. Oh dear. So we had some people sent us some spooky stories.
Yes.
Yeah. Should we kick off with a spooky story? Do you want to go
Sure.
first, or
Which one do you think we should start with?
should we start with Jessie's?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse. I'll read yours, Jesse.
Mwah,
Okay, so like we said before, we're not going to say if these stories are true or false or fiction, and we're also going to try to name them beforehand. Some of them are named, some
Yeah.
of them aren't, but we figure we get these stories a name too. So you guys should comment the names as well when you say true or false. So that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. So I'm going to do this. It's a lot easier for me to read. Okay, so Jesse's story goes. A little bit of a background. I grew up in LA, Los Angeles, in the city, but I was born in Eugene, Oregon. And the first house that I lived in was in Junction City, which was several miles outside of Eugene. It's farming community, very rural, especially in the late 70s and early 80s. This was before I was born, though. There was a ghost of a young girl at this farmhouse that I grew up in. She was witnessed by a few family members on different sides of the family. I know for a fact by two of my uncles, my dad and my mom. Her apparition would frequently be seen on the staircase from the second floor to the first floor. From the stories I was told, she was just sort of there. At one point, they had someone come out and sort of assess the situation. This is the late 70s, so Oregon, they knew a lot of hippy dippy witchy people. My sisters were young girls at the time, and the explanation is that this ghost was attracted to their energy. And that was some sort of explanation as to why she was there. According to my dad, and I take my dad's ending with a grain of salt, he eventually acknowledged the ghost presence and asked to leave. He didn't speak directly to her, but he spoke to the ether. I know that is what you're allegedly supposed to do if there's a presence in your house. You acknowledge it and release it. Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, wow. That's such a good story.
Yeah, it's a good experience. Well, not a good
Yeah.
experience, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So,
This is a little bit of an easy one, you could probably tell, but do you think it was true or fiction? And what would you name the story? I would love
yeah,
to hear that.
let us know in the comments. So, what would we name it?
So, meanwhile, while we're waiting, Karen said, I used to work in apparently haunted house alone as all the other staff refused to set foot inside due to malicious spirits. I never saw a thing, so I must have been accepted by the ghouls.
Ooh. We did that at the same time, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So far, we've got Narissa and Kirsty and Karen saying true.
Yeah.
May says they recognize their own. Yes.
Very true.
Okay, but do you have any, think about what we could name this story. I would love to hear a name for this. It'd be great.
Oh, I don't know what I would call it. Something like, I'm so bad at naming stuff, but I kind of like when you said hippy dippy witchy people.
Hippy dippy witchy people.
Hippy dippy witchy people.
Sharon wants to know if it worked, if the spirit was released and left. Jesse, you can answer that.
Yeah, Jessie, let us know.
She says that she thinks it's a true story, and Kirsty's, I guess, her title for this would be Gone.
Gone. Oh, that's so good.
That is a good one. Be gone from here.
Be gone.
You
hippy dippy witchy. Oh dear. Yeah, I like that. Be gone. I think that's what we should call it, actually. That's quite good.
That is a good one. Be gone.
Yeah, Eddie May said, release the hippy dippy. I like that one.
Jesse said he did release the ghost. Good. All right.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Oh, so who else did we get?
Okay, you go next.
Oh, I'm trying to think of one where I haven't got to pronounce too many names. So I'll go with Kirsty's story then.
Okay.
Ooh. So this is Kirsty's story. So I've lost my place. Here we go. Right. That's what he saw first on his early morning jog over the dunes, their feet. At first he thought he might have interrupted something private, something that is usually and more comfortably best achieved indoors. Their feet were intertwined, touching toe to toe. On hers were 2 silver toe rings in twisted metal. His dog only ever wanted to say hi and always came back when we called. Not today. As he grabbed for Buster's collar, he turned and apologised to their twisted faces. Eyes open, they looked into each other's dilated pupils and saw forever and nowhere all at once. He was not ashamed to scream at the crab as the crab scuttled over the woman's hand. His dog lurched forward to lap up at the dried blood that had once been dripping down from the gunshot between her eyes. The man was worse. His shot was through the mouth, up into his brain. The congealed mess and sound of the dog's lapping made him feel sick, and he turned and vomited up his protein shake. Turned away from the scene, he knelt in the sand, no longer able to stand. He dialed 999 or 911, all the while trying to think of his response to "What's your emergency?" When the question came, he vomited again and spat out, "They're both dead. Come quick." He spotted the gun then in the man's hand and wondered if the woman had been given a choice in this, or if she had just been on her dream date watching a beautiful sunset with her lover. When he heard the sirens wail, he wept, and his dog, inquisitive and drawn to his sobs, came close, nuzzled up and licked his tears. The scent of iron emptied his stomach once more. Ooh. So do we think that is a true story from Kirsty or a fiction story? That was creepy.
Yeah.
Even when I was reading it, I was like, ugh.
It kind of reminded me of this Unsolved Mysteries that just came out on Netflix. I just watched about this. They were seemingly a couple, or they were just friends, and they were both killed by this park and shot. It was, and they wanted to know how it happened. So, and
I need to
Eddie,
watch some of those.
I'm sorry. Eddie, by the way, that was a true story from Jesse. If you look back up, you'll see where he confirmed it.
A true story. And Jesse said there's still weird vibes in that house when he was a little kid as well. So Cameron said, I think that one is fiction. And Jesse said, so well written. Eddie May said, fiction reminds me of Stephen King's short story told in British ease. Yeah. In Brummie. Jesse said, I think fiction too. Eddie's video said fiction. Sharon said fabulous fiction. And Eddie May said that was good. Yeah. What do you think, Dustin? Do you think true or fiction?
Oh, it's most definitely fiction, but it's just the perspective it was told.
Yeah.
That's why it's definitely got to be fiction.
It was fiction, but it's good. How good. Kirsty, that was brilliant.
Even a picture for sure.
Yeah, and even whilst I was reading it, I was like, oh. It was like, yeah. But we forgot. Oh, sorry, go on, Dustin.
I was going to say, there is a title for it, but we can either just reveal it or we can ask for one. Either way.
Should we we'll say what the title is on that one, because I forgot to ask, didn't I?
Okay. Well, the title is Sandmare.
Yeah. So I take it, is that like the place, Kirsty? Let us know. Or is it, Oh, because
it's like a nightmare, but the sand.
Yeah, because I think it was meant to be. Yeah, it was on the beach. Oh, yeah, Sandmare. I'm so slow. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You know what I'm like. My brain's not working, but I love that title, Sandmare. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Love
wow. That. Okay. So we have another one, and the next one is Jen, who sent this in, and I kind of am. I don't know if it's true or not.
Oh.
This is one of those ones I'm not even sure. So, but she says it's the oldest recorded ghost story.
Oh.
So that makes me go, is it true? I don't know. This is one we have a conundrum, so we can have a little debate on this.
Yeah.
One. So I would like to read this one. This is one that's going to have some fun names to it.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't pick this one.
That's why I was like, I'm going to read this for you because
Thank you, Dustin.
I might even mess it up. So here we go. All right. So this apparently takes place in Greece. So it sounds kind of like Greek mythology in a way.
Ooh.
In Athens, there was a large and spacious house, which in the region had poor fame. It was thought to be haunted. Supposedly, strange noises could be heard at night, like iron striking against each other. With the greater concentration, it sounded like rattling chains. The sound seemed to be far away, but it gradually came closer and closer. Then there would appear the ghost in the form of an elderly, emaciated, and disgusting man with long hair and a beard. As the ghost moved, he made the sound of rattling chains, which were on his hands and feet. The residents of this house could not bear the terrifying sounds and the mysterious nightmare. Therefore, finally, the house was abandoned and left to the ghost. With time, the owners decided to put up the object for sale, but with a much lower price than in reality the house was worth. Wait, but with a much lower price than in reality the house was worth it. Okay, it's lower than it should have been.
Yeah.
Once Athenodorus Kenenites, a Stoic philosopher, visited Athens. During his visit, he accidentally encountered an announcement about the sale of a house, which in no case corresponded to the actual value of the property. Intrigued, he learned from the local residents about the mystery of the process. About the mystery of the possessed home. Information only encouraged the intelligent man to buy possession. When the night came, Athenodorus asked to set the couch in front of his house, put writing materials, an oil lamp, and leave him alone at home for the night. Set the couch in front of the house. Okay. Part of the night was exceptionally quiet. At one point, however, Athenodorus heard the chains rattling. Instead of looking towards the sound, he focused on writing, pretending not to be interested. However, the sound did not stop. It seemed to be getting closer. In the end, the sound was already so clear and close enough that Athenodorus looked up and saw the ghost. The ghost looked at him and raised his hand and began to sway his finger at him. The philosopher, while maintaining the stoic peace, raised his hand, ordering the ghost to wait, and returned his eyes to his notes. The impatient ghost rattled his chains again and nodded towards Athenodorus. The man finally got up, picked up an oil lamp, and followed the ghost that moved slowly due to the chains that were constraining his movement. Athenodorus followed the ghost into the yard, where the ghost suddenly disappeared. The philosopher marked the place where he last saw the ghost with leaves and grass. The next day, Athenodorus asked the local authorities to make excerpts in the marketplace. To everyone's surprise, there was a buried skeleton of a man in the ground who was bound by chains and certainly tortured before death. The remnants of this unfortunate story were removed from the earth, and the local authorities, at public expense, set up a dignified burial. Thanks to this, the mortified soul of the deceased could go away in peace, and the house in Athens was never haunted again.
Dum, dum, dum.
Now,
whoa.
So it being one of the oldest recorded ghost stories, was it true or wasn't it? That's the debate.
True or wasn't it? What do we think, guys?
And let's name it too, by the way. Let's name the story.
I was thinking, as you was reading, I'd call it like chain reaction. Something like that.
The whale of Athens, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh. So Kirsty thinks it's yes. Dawn is also watching this video. Okay.
Hi, Dawn.
I was reading that wrong. I was like, wait, that's an announcement.
Dawn is a ghost.
Okay. So most of these people are saying true. That's okay. Everybody's saying it pretty much.
Okay. Well, Jen did say it was true.
Right.
And it's really intrigued me. Like, I want to know more about it.
I love mythology. I love it so much. It's so neat and weird. I love old stories like that, old ghost stories, classics, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jessie said true as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got any names for it? Anything you think might be a good
Anything better
title?
than chain reaction?
It sounds like the modern version of it.
You're in the middle of a chain reaction in Greece.
In Greece.
Oh dear. Eddie May said, I read somewhere that societies tell their history in ways through ghost stories.
Yes.
Oh dear.
They're like
Um,
parables. They're like, morality tales in a way, a lot of times.
mm, yeah,
How you teach the young.
Shaman says unchained.
Unchained.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Dawn loves her chain reaction.
Stay chain reaction. Yeah, bit of Bee Gees, can't go wrong. Oh
Hearts
dear.
and ghosts.
And just quickly going back to Kirsty's story, I saw that Karen had put that she would call it dinner and shots.
Dinner and shot. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's so
Oh,
good.
oh, that's so.
Dinner and shots.
Diana
Oh
Ross.
dear.
Okay.
Oh, is it not the Bee Gees? Is it Diana Ross? Oh, it is Diana Ross.
Ooh.
But it does have the Bee Gees in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kirsty says, chain of sail, maybe.
Ooh, chain of sail. I like that.
Yeah. Chain
Yeah.
reaction of sail.
um, should we read another story?
Yes,
Who
please.
should we go
Your
for?
choice.
Let's read. I'll read Sharon's. Although there is a hard word in here, and Sharon did tell me how to say it, and I've forgotten, so I'm going to butcher it. But I'll try.
Trying to look and see which word it would be.
Oh dear, you'll know when I get to it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Sharon's story. I love graveyards, especially at night. Peaceful, quiet, with a torch to read the headstones. It's more common than you think. It even has a name. This is the word, taphlophile. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sharon. You did try
Taphophile?
to teach me. Yeah.
Taphophile.
Taphophile. Yeah. Bless Sharon, she did try to tell me, and I still butchered it. So, let me tell you about the night my batteries ran out. It was a cold, misty November night. The bells of the old chapel clock chimed 11, and all was quiet, peaceful, and dark. I should have packed batteries. It was okay, though. I knew the way home. As I meandered through the crooked markers of the long departed, I saw a light. I thought it was a candle flame flickering, coming closer. I strained my eyes to see who it was, but the image kept changing, growing, pulsing, and a swirling vortex. A swirling vortex 1 minute, a small figure the next. I was intrigued and began to walk towards it. An abyss, wide and hungry, a tunnel of darkness stretching off into the depths floated before me. Screams and howls of terror issued forth from its maw. The sounds of ripping, tearing flesh and the scent of roasted skin filled the air. I was fascinated. Was this real? Was I hallucinating? As I stepped forward to enter, compelled by a force outside of myself, a small hand slipped into mine and whispered, "Welcome home, sister." I woke, curled up on a gravestone in the early dawn. It had been raining, but I was dry, and my torch lay next to me, beaming brightly. And yes, I still love graveyards.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a good
I
one.
love that, Sharon. That's a good one. So what do we think? Is it true or false? True or fiction or real?
False
Is that what we're
also
saying?
fiction, yeah.
Yeah. What do we think, guys?
Give
And
it a
what
name.
would we call that? Yeah, what would we call that one? Oh, it's got to be something to do with like grave walk or something like that. What do you think, Dustin?
Let me see. What would I call this? Walk of the Damned.
Walk of the damned. Oh. Karen said that's just a really great advert for Duracell batteries.
That's not false either.
Yeah. So Dawn says she thinks fiction. Jessie said creepy. Spooky sister, Dawn said. Yeah, that's a good one, spooky sister. Eddie May said, okay, because this is Sharon and she's been everywhere, I'm gonna say true. Called it Deadlights.
Yeah, like an It.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
all the
that's a good
deadlights.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kirsty said always carry spare batteries.
that'd be a good title though.
Yeah.
Just because it's unassuming,
Batteries not included. Oh dear.
Karen
Karen
says
said
fiction.
fiction. Yeah.
Jesse says true.
Ooh.
Eddie says fiction. And he says she likes deadlights. That's funny. Okay,
So,
we reveal?
yeah, reveal. So it's half true and half fiction. So, Sharon said to me that the torch went out and did come back on during a nighttime visit during the graveyard while she was at the graveyard. She did wake up asleep on a gravestone, but then having dreamt the rest. But then apparently the black nun was very real and followed Sharon home.
Oh no.
And then Sharon also said had a ghost hunting club with friends in the 70s. That's so cool, Sharon.
I haven't been ghost hunting in a long time, and it's fun. It's fun, but it's also creepy. It's really some weird things happen on ghost hunts if you go to the right places.
Oh,
But I think, and also the title of this was Nighttime Walks.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, it was amazing. It was brilliant.
It's always good to write what you know, write something you've experienced, and just embellish on it. It makes it much more fun.
Yeah,
I think so.
Kirsty said, "Did you have a name for the club?" Oh, we'll have to ask Sharon. Yeah, we'll ask Sharon.
I had a club that in like 7th and 8th grade, but I did kind of what the on Are You Afraid of the Dark? On Are You Afraid of the Dark? Their campfire club is called the Midnight Society. My club was called just called Fright Night. We would just have Fright Night.
That.
So we were Fright Nighters, and I would always say FN to people. And somebody finally saw it, and I was supposed to keep it a secret. And they're like, "What does that mean?" I said, "We're the funky no ones." So he thought it was the real name, that we were calling ourselves the funky no ones. So.
Oh dear. Can you still see me okay? Or do I need to put my light on? Yeah? Okay, I was just checking.
Can you see me? I know. Like when I did this, I was like, well, and there's no light on my face. But
oh dear. Oh, Eddie May said, Sharon is my Shiro. Karen said, walking into the light. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Sharon said the Drew Club. We were mad on Nancy Drew. Oh, so
that's a good one. I like that because you wouldn't know what that was unless you really thought about it. So
yeah. Oh, Karen said, can we make this story time thing a regular club chat and give ourselves a cool name to go with it? Oh, we could,
We could definitely.
We could do different themes, We'll have to have a think, We could do different themes, So we perhaps like around Christmas, we could do Christmas horror stories or something like that. Yeah.
And it'd be good, like some of them can be happy endings and some can be, everything like that. You can still have
it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom.
And then she died.
Dun, dun, dun. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Dawn said I would love that. Yeah, great idea. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do something. So who's up next, Dustin? Who's next? You go.
I'm gonna read Eddie May's story because it sounds very British and Southern at the same time, like South American Southern. So I'm probably gonna put my Southern accent.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh God, here we go. All right. So this is a little bit longer, but it's fun because you are very colorful in how you write, Eddie May.
Yeah.
All right. So here it goes. Interesting enough, this happened in the 80s when I was a teenager, home alone and involved in a creepy picture of Jesus. My parents kept in their bedroom. I was 16 and my parents and brother were out going to dinner. Of course, I didn't want to go. They were so embarrassing in public at that age. As soon as they left, I went to the kitchen to grab the wall phone with the extra long cord to call my BFF. That way I could walk around the kitchen and make snacky snacks, place them in the living room to watch TV, and still gossip with my bestie. Our family dog, Bandit, was always by my side, so he was watching my every move, hoping for snacks. Before I grabbed the phone, he let out a little growl and was looking up the stairs. I saw I saw everyone leave, so knew no one was there. So why would he growl? But with the but with the promise of food, gossip, and alone time with the big TV downstairs, I told Bandit to cut it out. Like in every horror movie, right? I tried to put him outside for a bit. He loved being in the backyard, but he wouldn't budge. Just kept low growling. So now I'm properly freaked out and decided to call the BFF first to tell her to bring her butt right over because there was no way in hell I'm investigating this alone. Picked up the phone and it was dead silent. No dial tone, nothing. I had just been talking to another friend before my family left, so I knew the phone should be working. I hung up and picked up the dang phone. I don't know how many times, and still silence. Then I heard what sounded like breathing at the exact same time. Bandit barked loud, making me drop the phone. He's now barking and growling, looking up the stairs. I'm in full panic mode. I hang up the phone and within seconds decide we're going up. Not sure where that courage came from, because today I would have been like, not today, Satan, and leave the house. But I was 16 and invincible, and I had Bandit. When I look up a few steps and he realized I meant for him to come with me, he stopped and stared at me like, are you nuts? I alerted you, now you go take care of whatever's happening. Well, his little butt got picked up and carried. So there I am, slowly creeping my way up the stairs with the hallway light on, along with all the lights on downstairs, whispering out, hello? I have a dog! Said dog was whimpering and trying to wriggle out of my death grip, and I would have lost my mind if anyone spoke back. So slowly, one step at a time, at full alert, and looking all around as I made my way up the stairs, I noticed all the doors to all the rooms were open, which wouldn't be so creepy if it wasn't getting dark. The doors usually stayed open unless someone were in one of the rooms. My parents had this huge, creepy picture of Jesus hanging in their bedroom. The kind where his eyes follow you. It always scared me, and my parents never got rid of it. I was already thinking, oh, sweet baby Jesus, please don't let me go into their room. So I call out again, hello? And Bandit starts whining because I had him pointed like a gun at my parents' room, poor guy. Quick glance in, and I see the phone in their room is off the hook. I zoned in on the phone in my parents' room that looked as if someone had just picked it up off the receiver and set it down neatly on top of the dresser like they'd be right back. I zoned out and was standing in my parents' room feeling big Jesus looking at me, giving me goosebumps. No, make that creep bumps all over and looking between the phone and the picture, Bandit done had enough. See, that's where I said it sounds.
Yeah.
Bandit done had enough and wiggled free. He almost fell, so I let him down. That little bastard gave me one last growl bark and ran away. Everything in me was screaming to do the same. Run! So I did just that. But of course, made sure to put the phone right first. As I was pulling my parents' door shut, I swear Demon Jesus winked. Before I knew it, I was in the kitchen picking up the phone to call my bestie, and this time there was a dial tone. However, all I got was a busy tone from her line. Thankfully, because if I had gotten through and explained that moment what had happened, she would have mocked me endlessly. Bandit seemed fine too, so I took some deep breaths, made some snacks, and was prepared to sit and watch TV when the lights flickered. Bandit growled again, and my doorbell rang. Ding dong! I screamed. Turns out it was a storm coming. We lived in an area that did that to the lights anytime the wind blew wrong. No one was at the door when I checked. Bandit helped himself to my Doritos when I got back to the living room, and my parents came back early because my little brother wasn't feeling well. Okay, no one was at the door, but the doorbell rang.
Whoa.
Okay. About a week later, that Jesus picture fell from the wall, nearly hitting my dad on the head as they were rearranging their bedroom furniture. He demanded they get rid. He demanded that they get rid of it because he never liked the way Jesus looking at him all those years anyway. Not sure where it went, but even now, telling this, I can feel those eyes on me. So there it is, a creepy picture of what I'm sure was not Jesus, a dog that growled for no reason, and a phone that should have been working. Mind you, Bandit was super smart. He could have conjured the whole ordeal just to get me to leave snacks unattended.
Oh, I love Bandit. I need
Wow,
more
I can
Bandit
see a lot of
stories.
comments coming up my peripheral.
Oh,
But so
yeah.
true or
So,
false?
true or false? Let us know what you think. But I love Bandit. I need more Bandit stories.
Oh no, Bandit needs a
Kirsty,
show.
Kirsty and Sharon said they missed their wall phone. Yeah, wall phone. Snacky snacks. Karen was laughing. Bandit, yeah, Jessie said. Eddie's video said his bedroom door opened by itself during that
What?
story. Freaky. Sharon said, I'm sitting outside overlooking the cemetery behind my house. Perfect vibes. Oh, yeah. I think we should call that story Sweet Baby Jesus.
Yes, that actually is Sweet Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
Sharon said, sensible bandit. Bandit done, had enough, Karen said. Demon Jesus, Jessie said.
Cheeky winky. I'd be like,
Cheeky winky.
Jesus winked. There you go.
Jesus winked. Oh. Kirsty said, Bandit's warning, or Jesus dialed for cheesy pizza.
You're trying to. I'm sorry. I'll put the phone down. No, hang it up, Jesus. I'm trying to make a call.
Oh dear. So Sharon says true. Kirsty said true. Eddie May said that was great, Dustin. Southern accent and animations perfect. Frigging Bandit. Just where is Demon Jesus? Jessie said true. Yeah, Eddie's video said Bandit, the unsung hero of the story. Oh, Karen.
Karen teaches a heavy breather.
Oh, dear. Karen said true. Yeah, Eddie's video says true. Nothing scarier than a demon Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus is perfect. Or cheeky winky Jesus sounds like the fifth Teletubby.
It does.
Cheeky winky
First Teletubby.
Jesus.
So yes, it was true.
Yeah,
right there, true. So
that's true.
Great.
That would really freak me out. That would.
That kind of stuff happened to me as a kid too. Like not like that, but like when I watched Unsolved Mysteries, and somehow I guess I was home alone, but we had a little hallway with like 5 doors, and they would be open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, which is at the very end of the hall, and I'm running, just scared to death somebody's gonna jump out at me.
Oh dear. It's really weird as well because when I was younger, my dad had bought a picture of this like young girl. It's like a girl because he said it looked like me when I was little. This girl in like a night dress with like lightning behind her, and my mum would not have it in the house because she was convinced it was a haunted picture. And then years later, I'd moved into a flat somewhere, and randomly this picture, didn't even know I had it, but it just was in my wardrobe. But whether my brother had put it in there as a joke or something like that, I opened my wardrobe and it was in the wardrobe, this picture. It was freaky, yeah. But I don't know what happened to it after that because I can't remember. But yeah, it was a spooky picture. Kirsty said, love it, Eddie May. Glad you had Bandit with you. Yeah. Bandit's a hero. Kind of.
Eddie May said, thank you. It was fun remembering Bandit mostly.
Oh, yeah.
So sweet. R.I.P. Bandit.
Yeah. We all need a bandit in our life. So I'll read Emma's story out. So Emma sent us a story.
Okay.
So I'll read Emma's out. And then I think I might just have one more then after that. So Bandit and the Mystery of JC's Party Line. Yeah, Karen, I love that. That's what it needs to be called. And you should write more, Eddie May, definitely, because that was really good. I know it was true and that, but I think you do some really good like
You're
fiction
very
writing as well.
expressive, so
Yeah,
it's fun, and
definitely.
you have a good voice for it.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so Emma's story then. So when I was a kid, there was a woman on our council estate called Rose. Everyone called her Mad Rose. Why did the kids call her that, you ask? Because kids are mean, right? Or maybe it was because Rose really was a psycho. One day I was walking to school and about to pass Rose's flat when splat! Something brown hit the pavement in front of me. I hurry across the road and look up to see Rosie's round, smirking face pop out of the open window. She throws a handful of watery brown stuff down onto the street and chuckles manically. A girl behind me shouts up to her, "Oi, Rose, what you doing?" Mad Rose cackles and shouts back, "Cleaning my toilet."
Oh my
Yet
God.
she was chucking poop out of the window. The next time I saw her, she was in the fish and chip shop. I was waiting in line to get a chip roll when Mad Rose blunders in. The guy in front of me asked the girl behind the counter for a sausage. Rose cackles loudly, shoves her umbrella between her legs, wiggles it around and shouts, "You've already got one between your legs, mate. Wahey!" Everyone goes quiet as the guy darts out of the shop with his sausages and a very red face. The next time I saw Rose, I was again on my way to school. She noticed me from across the road and shouts, "You! Come here, you little shit!" I scream and start running, no idea what I've done. Mad Rose gives chase, swearing her head off, umbrella pointed in my direction, opening and closing it as she rages after me up the hill. Thankfully, she couldn't catch me. When I got to school, I had to write down the reason for my lateness. I wrote, "Chased by Mad Rose." Knowing our town psycho well, the school accepted this as a good reason to be late. There are a few reasons Rose was nicknamed Mad Rose. Some say she was possessed by a demon. Some say she was driven mad by an ex-lover. And some people think she was a harmless eccentric. But no matter what made her the way she was, we all have fond memories of Mad Rose terrorising the neighbourhood.
Ooh. Oh.
So, what would we call it? And do we think it was true or false?
Let's see. And while we're waiting for these answers, I'll see what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so Eddie May says, "Thank you for the writing encouragement. Thinking of it. Good, good." Everybody's giving us funny laughing emojis, and Eddie's like, "Ooh," and Sharon says, "Fabulous cackle, Chelley." She
I saw Jessie
also
put the
said,
little poo emoji as
"Yes."
well.
Eddie's like, "Oh God," laughing. Sharon says, "This is so British," laughing. The chat is definitely not suitable for kids. No, no, Eddie, it's not. And Kirsty says, "And I'm guessing it's true." Eddie says he loves it. Eddie May says, "Right." Eddie says, Eddie and Eddie May both say true. Karen says, "Gordy Lou and the sausages."
Gardy Lou.
Oh, Gordy. Okay, so I thought it
well,
was
that's
Gordy.
how I would say it. But...
Sharon says fiction. Jesse says true. He says to name it Mad Rose. Karen says true. Kirsty says Mad Rose or Rose Matter to copy Stephen King. Eddie says chocolate sausages.
Chocolate sausages.
And Eddie may say Mad Rose takes no shit. Not sure for kids. But and Kirsty says, "Ew." Okay, so let's reveal the name.
Yeah, so the name Emma called it was Mad Rose. Well done, Jessie and Kirsty.
Yeah.
And also, it was true. So it was based on a woman when Emma grew up in their town, and she did actually do all of those things. So yeah, very British.
We had somebody who went a little cuckoo one day and while we were in school,
Yeah.
and so I looked out the window, and across the street there was just a naked woman walking down the street,
Oh.
and the teacher was like, "You could just feel the whole building shift out of that somebody like looking out the window at this woman walking down the street. She had a little episode and decided to take off her clothes and go for a stroll." So,
Kirsty said there's one in every town.
yeah,
I hope I'm not
sadly.
the one in our town. I'm only joking.
If you're asking the question,
Oh dear.
oh my goodness.
Was she
Ugh.
secretly Scottish? Karen says. Oh, Sharon said in my town it was my auntie Amy. Oh, I love that.
Poor Auntie Amy.
Auntie Amy.
Oh. Okay, we have one last story, and that's from Eddie's video, and we got this earlier. So, and I haven't really actually had a chance to read it. So, I didn't read any of the ones I read except for one. But
You done
yeah.
so
So,
good.
thank you. So here we go. Here's our last story for the evening, day, wherever you're at. When I was little, around 7 years old, I remember going on a school field trip that scared the hell out of me. I don't remember where it was we were going. I just recall sitting on the school bus in the back and alone, when suddenly out the window I saw something utterly terrifying. Out there in the distance, in some wheat fields we were passing by, I saw a man whose lower body resembled that of a horse or a bull. I rubbed my eyes as I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was just minding my business. It was just minding its business, as if looking around for something to eat. Then he stopped moving, raised his head, and looked directly at me, almost as if he knew I was watching him. I remember him having the reddest, most frightening eyes and quite a menacing expression. Thankfully, the bus kept moving, and soon the Minotaur was out of sight. You might say Minotaur. Till this day, I can't tell if it was real or just a dream. A nightmare, I should say. However, later that night, I remember telling one of my uncles what I had seen. He then proceeded to tell me an extremely uncomfortable tale about a local woman who fell in love with her horse. I don't need to go into details for you to figure out what happened next. My uncle said that there had been multiple sightings of this mythical creature, the product of this woman's peculiar relationship. He said never to go near it, as it was known to have killed several people already, which is why the creature had eventually retreated to the hills nearby. I never saw the Minotaur again, but I remember it quite well. Till this day, I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
That is freaky.
Ooh.
Eddie.
So is it true or is it fiction?
And what would we call it?
What would you call it?
Yeah. Sharon's put a person and a horse equals. Yeah. Karen said the hills have eyes. Yeah, horse that eyes.
Kirsty said, not wheat fields.
Jessie said, I say no. Fiction. Oh, gives a new meaning to going horseback riding, Eddie May said.
Horsing around.
Horsing around.
I think that actually popped in my head the second it was funny.
Oh, God. What would you do if you saw that? I wouldn't be able to tear my eyes away. Like, I think I'd be just enthralled and thinking, yeah.
Let's see. So Kirsty says fiction. Sharon, that's funny. Let's say fiction. Karen. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Be like, yeah, it's staring at you, but wait a minute. Oh dear, yeah. So Eddie May says fiction.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's
all right, so you want to tell them?
It was true, Eddie. Tell us more. That is like really freaky.
Yes.
I wanted
And
to
his
throw my
original
candle
name,
out then.
his original name was the Minotaur.
A Minotaur.
So, or
Yeah.
Minotaur, or whatever you want to say it.
Oh, I would never have been able to pronounce it.
Oh, really? You know what a
Yeah, I'd
Minotaur
have
is.
been like
Usually it's a man with a bull's head.
Minotaur. Yeah. Oh, ew, Kirsty says. I know, so
It's so
freaky.
creepy.
Yeah, Eddie
So
May goes, what?
creepy. Oh, oh.
Oh, Eddie, if you're still here, tell us more. We need to know.
Tell us
Like,
more. Tell us
oh,
more.
Eddie's now saying half true. Which bit wasn't true? The wheat field? Oh dear.
The
Oh, that
wheat
is
field.
freaky. The wheat fields.
Oh my
Oh dear.
goodness.
Karen said, Eddie's video, were you reading a lot of Percy Jackson books at the time? Oh dear.
Oh, that could have been, yeah, that could have been influence, Eddie.
Yeah.
That's
Kirsty said the horse half or the woman half. Yeah, half true. So Eddie said half true. So Kirsty's saying which half.
Yes. The one who was given or the one who was receiving. Okay. So can't say I saw for sure. I saw what I saw. I was so young and it happened long ago, but I do remember seeing that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that is true. If you believe you saw it, I believe you.
His story.
Uncle's story was true.
I think your uncle was like, he didn't see this, but I'm gonna scare him even further.
Isn't it weird though that things like from our younger years are just so etched on our brain, like over time, like it's like especially like spooky things.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, well, all them stories was so good. Like, thank you to everyone who sent us the story.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
It was brilliant.
I will say this is kind of. I meant to tell you this at the beginning. So something happened the other day.
Oh. A
and
fresh
this is actually true.
story.
I'm going to give you this. This is actually true. This happened to me. And so last week, for some reason, I woke up in the middle of the night around 1:30, and an alarm was going off in my apartment. And it wasn't a fire alarm. It was just like a beep, 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 like an alarm clock. And I finally got out of bed and it stopped, and I had no idea where it was coming from. Thursday night into Friday, I woke up again around 12:30. The alarm was going off again. And this time I got up and I ran into the living room and I found it, and it was a little clock that was my mom's. And we'd never set that alarm, and I never turned that alarm on ever. And we've had that thing for years, and it's never gone off before. And it finally did.
Wow.
So I kind of think of it as my mom. Maybe.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I really believe in things like that with like signs from the other side and things. It's like when we was younger, we had a picture fall off the wall that would never fall off the wall, and that was, and then we found out like on that night when that happened that one of our family members had passed away as well. Ooh. So I really believe in things like that, that objects are used for like communication.
Yeah. That happened actually before my brother got married, and the priest came over to meet the family and have dinner, and he was sitting there, and all of a sudden this picture fell off the wall and hit him right on the head.
Oh, you see,
that thing had never moved, ever, and it leapt off the wall. It was so strange. I was like, "This is a sign," but they got married anyway. But
oh dear, yeah. Oh, I love that, Dustin. Eddie May said, anything can happen in them wheat fields, going back to Eddie's story. Kirsty said, such a fun chat. Thanks all. Lots of fab storytellers here. Definitely. Yeah, Karen said, I saw a story on Insta of baby owls that basically look like aliens, and I need to share it later. Karen, I think you did send me that, and I saw it before I went to sleep, and that's all I could dream about. It's really freaky.
It is creepy.
Yeah. Kirsty said spooky. She wanted to be part of the evening. Yeah. She's here with us. Sharon said, this morning all the pictures on my walls were tilted. That was weird, but I assumed earth tremor, but only the pictures moved.
Only the pictures know.
Yeah. Jessie said, this was a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing it again soon. Yeah, we'll have to do it again. But Kirsty said, but at least no one here dug up any rugs this week.
Do you know about this, by the
I've
way?
seen it,
Yeah, the
yeah,
woman who
on
found the rug in
TikTok.
her
Yeah.
yard. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Eddie's video said, great chat, everyone. Had lots of fun as always. And I swear I'm not crazy. We don't think you're crazy.
We believe you. We believe
Yeah.
you. So
Oh,
before we go out, I want to make sure that everybody comes to your Point Horror chat tomorrow for the
yes.
hanging tree.
Yeah, we're doing, I've got it here somewhere. I can't see. It's so dark in here.
If you've read
But yeah, the
it,
hanging tree.
I've never read it. I
Ooh,
might jump by, but I've never read it. So.
creepy face. And I'm going to try and do my face like this tomorrow.
Oh, God.
So we'll
Do you have the contacts for it? If you do, I'm going to freak.
Oh, I can't put contacts in my eyes, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and do all this red around my eyes.
Okay.
It probably won't work very well, but I'll give it a go.
They have red, like, eyeliner I've used before for a vampire.
Yeah.
They have the eyeliner you put.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
next
going to
week,
give it a go.
next week is the Fear Street Book Club, or my book club, but we're doing Fear Street book reports. So reading random Fear Streets. Come listen and watch and see what we picked and what we talk about.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun.
I can't wait for that.
And if you want to, so bedtime stories on YouTube, I'll post a link. You want to watch, of course, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Try that out.
Yeah.
You Can See Me in the Dark is the podcast where I tell my ghost stories.
Yeah.
And I'll try to post the link to that episode, probably Spotify, or if you want me to do Apple, I'll do that as well. And what's another thing? Oh, you should, if you have it, watch Celebrity Ghost Stories. I don't know if you have that over there, but if you do, look it up. It's really good. They do reenactments while these people are telling their stories, their true stories that happened to them. So
yeah. Ooh, okay. I'm going to check them out.
Yeah,
Eddie May and Eddie's video said, "What's with the rug?" You need to go and look it up now. Yeah.
This woman found. Here's in the nutshell. A woman was in her. Something was going on. She was digging, and she found a rug in her yard. And then cadaver dogs, 2 separate ones, started freaking out over this spot where this rug was. So then it shut down her whole neighborhood, and they had to excavate this area to see if there was a body. And apparently, they didn't find a body. But why would the cadaver dogs go crazy?
Yeah. Freaky. Karen said she shared the owls to her story.
Okay.
I can't see that again.
I think I saw she linked us, I think.
Hi, Emma. We did read out your story. Mad Rose. Sharon says, I'm reading my first Fear Street story for next week. Yay! And yes, Emma, you should be able to watch it back later. Bless you. She's been working hard. Mwah, Emma, we love you. Oh, so Dustin, thank you so much. Like, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad, like, that we came up with the idea, and then Kirsty made it even better by getting, giving us the idea of getting people to send stories. This has been super, super fun, and I'd love to do it again.
If anything, we should do it like quarterly or something at first and see how it works. Because I don't want everybody to run out of stories.
Yeah. I know, that's it, yeah. But maybe we could do, as I said, we could do like different themes or something like that.
Yeah,
we
can do that.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. But thank you guys for your fab stories and your comments and playing along with our little guessing game.
Ooh.
Yeah, you say that much better than me though, Dustin. You go,
we're gonna play a little guessing game.
It's so freaking. Oh dear. When I was like editing that reel together, because Dustin did the script for it, which was like brilliant. So then I was trying to record mine and listen to Dustin's at the same time, and it was like proper freaking me out. It's that laugh. And then I sent Dustin my laugh, and mine was like a high pitch, like laugh. I tried. Oh dear, but thank you guys, and thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate this. This was fun.
I might sleep with the light on tonight,
Happy spooky season, everyone.
Happy spooky season. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.